to be. Welcome back, everyone, to Bay Sunday. Our next guest is a bit of a matchmaker, if I may. Since 1979, Friends for Youth have been matching young people with mentors to help them along the way. And nearly 2,000 kids have been introduced to what they call senior friends, and 90% of those have developed lifelong mentoring relationships. And the byproduct, it's all good. Higher self-esteem, they do better in school, they stay out of trouble. It's a great program. It's in both San Mateo and northern Santa Clara County. Pleased to welcome Becky Cooper from Friends for Youth. How are you?
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, we've chatted a little bit, but how did this all come about?
Oh my gosh. In 1979, a very special man left the corporate world for a few years to dedicate himself to starting this type of program, which is a one-to-one, very intensive mentoring program for youth that really had special needs around kind of an immediate need for a positive adult in their life to give them some guidance and support. And so once he formed a task force in the community, and then once they had raised their first year's budget, I was the first staff person that was hired.
So you've been there
to
since
put this
day one.
Together. I have.
This
yes.
is your family.
It is. It's a huge part of my life, and I'm very, very blessed to have been a part of this.
And you call them junior friends, and
yes.
I guess ages 8 to 17.
8 to 17.
Give us an idea of the kids that you're helping out, and how do you match them up to mentors?
Oh my goodness. We have youth that are referred through schools and middle school, so they're not doing well in school, they're struggling. We have youth referred through the Juvenile Probation Department, some through County Mental Health or Children's Protective Services, so many have abuse in their background. Basically, a youth professional identifies a particular need, which often just stems down to they need positive guidance and a positive adult in their life.
We need a mentor. We need a big brother kind of thing.
Exactly.
We do.
Exactly.
And your success rate's phenomenal. I mean, for every 9 kids you match up with a mentor,
it is.
That's a relationship that lasts.
We are very proud of that. We've since the field has grown, the field of mentoring, we've discovered that indeed we are at the top of our class, so to speak, in terms of our success rate, and that comes from implementing best practices that we've learned over the years, and not deviating from our mission or from our procedures. Everyone goes through the same process. We take screening volunteers very seriously. Clearly, there's a
These are the mentors now,
These
right?
are the mentors, yes.
Right. The
senior friends are screened very carefully. They go through training. We have 2 to 3 group activities every month that we host, and that's kind of ongoing, also helps us build those relationships, and our staff is in touch with each match at least once a week.
And the
to help
mentors
them.
can be how old? And
They can be 20 to
whatever.
You name it. We have some people in their 70s. We have everything in between.
Wow.
We have couples and families who do this and just sort of integrate the youth into what they do. We have empty nesters who miss that. We have young people who don't have their own children yet and want to be around youth. I look at it, I sometimes say ordinary people like you and me, but those ordinary people can have extraordinary results and outcomes for the youth.
And
exactly.
the byproduct we talked about, higher self-esteem,
Yes.
better in school,
Yes.
social interaction.
Yes, and we measured all those things on an ongoing basis. We have a researcher who helped us identify a protocol to really track those things, and especially for, well, all those things are so relevant, but academic achievement and education, of course, is a big issue for youth these days, and just having an interest in a young person and building that intellectual curiosity can make, just an incredible difference.
I imagine you have quite an alumni, and
we do.
Weddings, Christmas cards, it must be crazy for you.
You're absolutely right. And those are some of the moments that always bring tears to our eyes, is when we get a phone call that, well, someone tracked down someone else because, their junior friend maybe, or their senior friend, because they had to be in their wedding, or they had to be part of a milestone in their life. So we've just got stories of lifelong friendships, of things that the youth have accomplished that we may never have imagined for them when we first met them. Youth who become doctors,
Really?
who family people with their own, again, very functional families, and they've been a huge influence in terms of their extended families. We have people who've become pediatric nurses, you name it, entrepreneurs, the whole gamut. But the youth have really kind of found their niche and their aspirations in life.
Talk about that initial meeting between mentor. I mean, it's a match, you know, it's
Well,
not
yeah.
Match.com, but I mean, there's got to be some chemistry there, right?
It is, there does.
Yeah.
There's got to be, and we match very carefully for that. We don't just take people off the top of the list because it's not going to work that well.
Right.
Can't really do it on paper. So we get to know the mentors and the mentees, the junior and senior friends, before we match them. Try to make the best matches we can in terms of interests, personalities, coping styles, and just sometimes it's that intuitive feeling that, wow, I think this person would really love this person or hit it off with that person.
Sure.
And it is, meeting for the first time is always, every story is so unique. Most of the time it's later people tell us, both the adults and the youth, how nervous they were to meet their
Absolutely.
person, and we stay there and help them kind of initiate some conversation and make some plans together for their first few outings. Things like going to the movies, where you can watch a movie and then talk about it later. You don't have to sit in front of each other and just talk for 3 hours at a time.
Yeah.
So get to know each other slowly.
Sure, something a little, yeah.
And,
Well, it takes time. How about the time commitment? What are you asking of your mentors?
We ask 3 hours a week, and we find that people do give at least that, more like 3.5 hours a week. Yeah. It sounds like a lot, but we have, once people do it, they say, wow, this is, you know, they just, again, incorporate that into their own lives.
Well, the benefits for both are just so great. 3 hours is nothing.
They are, yeah. The mentors often tell us, gee, I think I'm getting more out of this than the mentee.
Well, we wish you all the best. Thanks so much for coming in, Becky.
Thank you so much.
Very nice. If you'd like more information, you can log on to friendsforyouth.org. That's it. Another Base Sunday is in the can. We thank you very much, folks. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you again next week, next Sunday. Take care.